Hello, everybody. Welcome to Storytime with B-Dog. Little known fact, I work as a cable guy in the Midwest area. If you need television, fucking landline phone, my gamer, or internet either fed by copper or fiber, I'm your guy. I can diagnose the shit out of it. Uh, I have a good handful of stories that I get from this job because it's very different in the fact that I am entering another person's home. I am getting a very intimate view of who this person is, just in general. And so, this is a story from my very first week on the job. I'm a fresh college graduate who just decided, you know what, my degree in an offshoot of computer science fucking sucks. I don't want to stay at a desk all day. Get me out of here. Let's go work for my local internet service provider. So, week one, 3 days of training, finally get to go out in the field, and it's a Friday afternoon. It's nice and sunny. There are creatures outside, and we want to go to this job because in our customer comments, it says that for some reason, the Wi Fi has been slow since Ryan went to prison. Now, Ryan isn't the customer, the account holder for this. Okay, what the hell? So we show up at the door in this trailer park to this trailer, and we answer the door. And this lady, she looks at us, and this is during COVID, so we're wearing our face masks. Says, if you wear those in my home, I'm not going to respect you. And I look at my trainer, and he looks at me, and we decide we're going to ignore whatever the fuck she just said. We're like, hey, we're going to go check outside to see if the issue's out there. We'll be back. Don't worry, we have later found out she is not a woman worthy of respect at this point. So we're going over to our good old green pedestal we have in the backyard of this trailer, and we're looking at the buried underground RG6 line. It's actually supposed to be orange, but this is a black cable. Don't worry about it. It's also in conduit. But it comes to our house box, and we're taking signal readings off of our tap in the pedestal. Think of just like a little service plug-in. Everything's looking fine out of there. Solid. Let's see if the issue's with this cable line. We test inside this little box that kind of separates where the internal components, the internal line, in this case it was just a line stapled to the outside of the trailer, and our line. Test our line is looking pristine, as good as can be. I'm like, oh shit. Well, we gotta go inside to be able to fully test the line that comes from us to them. So we get the joy of knocking on the door and saying, ma'am, let us the fuck in. We can't fix your shit unless you let us in. So she lets us in, and I get hit with the extreme sense of ammonia. And I didn't have a sense of smell at this time. Really, I could only smell like chemicals in the air. Like whenever I'd have to clean with bleach, yeah, I could smell that kind of. Or it just hurt to have the fumes in my eyes. That's besides the point. Very bad stench of just cat piss everywhere. And I'm just thinking, oh, neat. There's probably a cat somewhere. There's no cat inside this trailer. We're talking with the lady. We're trying to figure out what the hell's happening. She's like, oh, it's a good thing you guys came with two service guys. I don't trust you when you come alone. This is kind of weird, but you know what? No big deal. You're a woman, presumably living alone, not trusting just a random guy to come inside your house. I get it. I get it. But as she's speaking to me, she keeps twitching her jaw. Like, imagine just opening your jaw and then tilting it over to the left, so kind of diagonally, and then just keep doing that while you're speaking. So her jaw kept twitching, and she kept itching at her arms, like she touched like fiberglass insulation and it got on her skin, so she like needs to scratch. But she just keeps scratching. Hold on, I gotta repair her shitty trailer. She keeps scratching, And at this point, I don't know if the redness is because of her just itching the fuck out of herself, or if because there's something going wrong with her. But at this point, good old Mr. Trainer Man, he's trying to diagnose the modem router combination we have over here. Uh, Tested the line. Line was working perfectly great. We're like, fuck, it's the piece of equipment. Fantastic. At this point, it is week 1 on the job. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So Mr. Trainer Man is doing the majority of the work, and I am on bitch duty, which means I get to lean with my arms on the kitchen counter and just speak with good old customer lady. We're just chatting, having a good time. I'm being the distractor so Trainer Man can do his work as he sprints around and makes himself a sandwich and shit. She's like, "Oh, hey. You guys don't mind the kitchen being dirty. One of my crackhead friends left a can of Diet Coke in the freezer." But wait a minute. Her jaw is twitching. She's scratching her arms. There is this uber intense smell of ammonia in the air. A presumed Ryan that used to live here is in prison, in jail. And it all hits me, just from past prior life experience. Oh, wait a second. I have a good fucking nomenclature for this lady. She's a meth head. She's very obviously either on or going through withdrawals. At this point, I'm pretty sure it's withdrawals, as she's just having a heyday, being paranoid as fuck that there is 2 white men in her home looking at a box and trying to figure out, why doesn't it work no more? We're like, okay, sick, cool. No worries here. I have experience distracting. So I bring up, hey, it's not every day somebody says that their internet stops working too good when somebody goes to, jail or prison or gets arrested. Can we have some backstory, por favor? Excuse my French there. What the hell happened? So as it turns out, as I'm leaning on the kitchen counter and she's speaking, this Ryan, who used to live in this trailer with her and her son that is suspiciously not in the home at this time, for some reason, he got arrested on federal charges of possession and intent to distribute methamphetamine, magic mushrooms, good old ketamine, and that fucking ivermectin stuff as well, for some strange reason, and acid. He evidently really loved his acid and his LSD. A cosmonaut, if you will. I'm leaning on the kitchen counter. She's like, yeah, it used to be a real worry when the kid was around, because sometimes he would just leave sheets on the kitchen counter. As I'm leaning on the kitchen counter in my short sleeve shirt with my arms just exposed, I quickly take myself the fuck off the counter, put my arms around my back so she doesn't notice me, even though it's pretty fucking obvious at this point. I'm trying to check if there's any tabs stuck to me, because the last thing I want week 1 of this new fucking job, hey, my trainer has to take me to the hospital. I got fucking dosed in a meth trailer, and now I'm seeing colors, and I'm pretty sure the demons are after me again. Send help. But yeah. So, that brings me to the, oh, there used to be a kid here. That's really neat. Cool, I grew up in this situation. Let's get the unique perspective of the meth head about what went wrong. So, as it turns out, the Ryan fellow, Mr. Big Time Drug Dealer, or whatever the fuck, he had a brother. And the brother was very concerned for his well being after he had sold his home in a nice area of town and had come to live in this kind of rundown trailer park on the complete opposite end of the city, and had no communication with him for 6 months, which led him to calling in a wellness check on the last known address, which just so happened to be this trailer at Trailer 100 Boulevard. And So the police show up. They destroy the meth creation room that they had. Think of like a grow room for potheads, but industrialized for making meth with a fish tank. Uh, don't worry about the specifics about that, but yes, a fish tank was used. And poor little tiny Jimmy Kitty had to be taken away from his mother that was doing meth in front of him at all times, allegedly. And he had to get taken away and put into the foster system. Now, don't get me wrong, foster system, not that great in the United States. Can be a lot better, but hey, fucking pick your political side now. But coming as a guy who grew up in this exact same situation, motherfucker, I wanted to be yoinked away. Are you kidding me? There's nothing like having a coked out mom you come home to and she's like, "Oh, my back hurts. Oh, you got brutally beat the fuck up at school? Let me tell you how I got it worse, kiddo. I have a headache today." But she's going on about how dare the brother take away the kid by calling the police. And I had a good old judgment call to make there. Uh, I've worked customer service before this, through high school and everything. I've learned to hold my tongue when people just say some weird out of pocket shit. And I managed to hold my tongue here, but at this point, I need the meth head to stay focused and look at me as a good guy. So I say, how dare they? If that was one of the policemen, I would have hit him just like that. How dare they take away your kid from you? He should have been raised here with you and no one else. Meanwhile, Mr. Trainer Man is panicking at this fucking point. I know this because he was sweating absolute bullets by the time we got outside. And let me make it clear, at any point in time, could we have just said, "Hey, gotta go get something from outside," got in our trucks and drove the fuck away? The company I work for has a very open policy of if you're uncomfortable or in a dangerous situation, leave. Don't even say no shit. Just get the hell out if you need to. Ask questions later. But I am young, dumb, and so fucking stupid at this point. And meanwhile, my trainer, who is sweating bullets, is too apathetic of his own life at this point to see the danger in this situation. So as I'm coddling her and going, "Oh, how dare they take away your kid?" I get this weird little gleam in her eye where, oh, I've made the connection with a human being. It's a social link up like in a Persona game. I go, "Oh, great. I've unlocked new stories to be told by this agoraphobic woman who is now an open book." And she's regaling her life story about how she used to be homeless and on the street. She finally got off drugs. She subsequently kind of gave up her kid for a bit to go back on drugs, but then got her kid back, but didn't give up the drugs. The really crazy redemption arc, I know. Until we got to this current moment in time. Meanwhile, Mr. Trainer Man freaking the fuck out. We finally figure out the line isn't busted, it's the piece of equipment. So we had to swap out her disgusting Coda 4582 Hytron modem for a Aris DG3450. The con for the Aris modem is that after it got set up, it was a workhorse. Didn't really have to worry about it too much in our plant. They just took at least 6 years to get set up fully. So Mr. Trainer Man, who knows how to do the job, is doing his job very well, might I add. Good job, Mr. Trainer Man. And I am doing a good job on distraction duty. And she drops the bomb of, "You guys didn't notice the machete I had by the door, did ya?" Excuse me? What the fuck? Ground control. We got issues. Now weaponry is in the meth head's brain, and I have to go, "Oh no, I didn't see it at all," as I'm looking towards the doorway, and I don't see the machete. She goes, "Oh yeah, do you want to see where I hit it?" I'm like, "Well, you hit it pretty good. Why don't you show me?" So she grabs it, she undoes a couple of coats, pulls it out of the coat rack. She's like, "Here it is." And it looks like one of those fucking like Bear Grylls branded machetes that you get at like Walmart and shit. So I go, "Oh, that's really cool. I never seen that before." "May I see it?" And she looks at me, and I chose the right dialogue option. It was the right thing to say because she hands it over. We are champions in our domain. She had given me the diamond sword. I go, oh wow, this is really cool. I shave a few hands, no, not hands, a few hairs off of my hand. I go, wow, this is really sharp. It doesn't come like this out of the box. You must have did it yourself. And she's like, ha ha ha. I did it on the rocks outside. Ignoring that last part, she goes, yeah, I have a whole bunch of other stuff. Do you want to see it? It's all really cool. And of course, my best idea is yes, let the weaponry master meth head give me all of her weapons. I will then be safe and there will be no danger in this situation unless she bites me and gives me a disease. The meth hedemus maximus. So she's bringing out like these katanas that she bought off of like wish.com or some shit. And then she has those Japanese folding fans, except they're like serrated blades at the edge. Like, oh wow, this is all really cool, neat stuff. Wow, you're really decked out. If I was a robber, I wouldn't break into here. Like, oh yeah, I have one I made myself. And she pulls out this folding fan that she had used like those old school binder thumbtacks, the ones where you push through and then bend on the ends, kind of like a stapler. She had used those to connect razor blades to the edge of the fan. And it was the sickest thing I've ever fucking seen in that moment of time. And I looked at her, I'm like, you don't even have to do the drugs. You're so creative. You got a multi-million-dollar idea here. You'll get your son back for sure. I didn't say exactly that. I did tell her it was really cool and she should sell the idea and then maybe get a nicer place to live in that doesn't have frozen Diet Coke residue all over the place from her crackhead friend. But she's finally finishing up a latest story. Good old Mr. Trainer Man. He finally gets the modem fully set up. And he gets the name and the password that the meth head had conveniently written down on a piece of paper at some point. He finally gets it all set up. We connect to it. It works. We get her to connect her phone to it. It works. She's finishing up this story about when she was homeless. She was very, very brutally assaulted by a person who had a name exactly like Mr. Trainer Man. And at this moment in time, I had frozen up. I had no longer had the ability to steer the conversation away from points of, oh, please don't go crazy and attack me. But she looks at me, and she looks at my company name tag. It says B-Dog. She looks at Mr. Trainer Man, then at his name tag. And I just hear the gears whirling in his head as he looks over at me after hearing this conversation. And I learned a very valuable lesson that day. Mr. Trainer Man has one of those names that has a shorthand or a longhand type to it, like a Mike or a Michael type situation. You know, one can be a nickname or they could either be full names. I learned that Mr. Trainer Man goes by he goes by the shorthand, but his full name's the longhand. I learned that people who use the shorthand of that name are vile, despicable, degenerate human beings that would stop at nothing to keep endorsing violence against those in their community. They are nothing but the Antichrist in disguise that would beat up on a woman for probably stealing meth from them. But if you have the longhand version, you are absolute paragons to society. You are the cable god sent here from above to fix this poor woman's cable internet with a brand new shiny piece of equipment that can get pawned for at least $50 more if she can ever leave the home. But at this point, we had done our due diligence. We verified that her modem was online and working, her router working. It was a 2-in-1 combination box. She verified it worked on her phone as she opened up a Telegram chat. for some reason, I guess. We're like, all right, ma'am, you have a good rest of your day. And we get the fuck out of this meth trailer. We get the fuck out of this trailer park. We travel all the way to our warehouse in our office spaces before closing out this work order. Let it be known, not everybody can be a cable guy. And I'm not saying this from a you're too fucking stupid, you won't ever understand it. My brother in Christ, the biggest number I deal with is the number 12, if I ever have to use that. I have it good in this line of work. I just have to talk to meth heads sometimes. The issue is that sometimes it is the meth heads that you have to deal with that stand there mockingly, hoping to skin you alive. Or the less, dangerous to a point ones where it's the hoarder homes, where, oh, this is a tiny little path that I have to wade through all the trash and garbage to get to your modem in the far end, hidden by 2 crates of old classic Coke bottles. It's not for everyone because there is a weird intimacy of entering another person's home and then having to hold your tongue at their way of living. Let it be known that tact and diplomacy will get you in a lot of places in life, and sometimes even get you away from a meth head and their disgustingly dirty, piss-smelling trailer.